So I'm having a catch up with Betty Boo. How are you?
Brilliant, thank you. Just having a great time.
Yes, I can well imagine. And I'm sure you're quite busy because I'm sure you're preparing for your UK tour, which is coming up in June. I bet you can't wait to be on the road again.
Yeah, I can't wait. I've started rehearsals and getting my boo on, and yeah, doing lots of things. And also, I've got some reissues of my first two albums out as well. So I'm doing just yeah, things are really good fun at the moment.
Yeah, I can well imagine that you've got a fair few dates on this tour across the UK from the 5th to the 28th of June, so out for the entire month across the UK. What was the reason behind being back out on the road?
Well, I'm celebrating 35 years of Boo Mania, and yeah, I can't believe it's been such a long time, but it seems like yesterday. I thought it'd be a great opportunity to go out and record, perform in front of loads of people and celebrate my music. And so I'm performing songs from Boo Mania and Grow It's Betty Boo, my first two records, and loads of new things as well. So it's going to be a great 90s party, but all my new stuff has a 90s flavor to it. So it all belongs in the same house, if you know what I
Mm.
mean.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got four records out there, two kind of from the 90s and two more recent ones. You're reissuing the first couple of records. What's the reason behind doing that?
Well, I just really wanted to do it because I love colored vinyl and CDs and cassettes, and I've been doing them with my new records. So I thought, well, it'd be great, and again, because it's a celebration of Boomania, I thought I'd do both of them. And I just love putting out colored vinyl and those lovely sort of things, and it's just really good fun.
Mm, yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think it was last year when your last record came out. Have you started working on some more new music yet?
I have actually. I have been taking all my time's been taken up with putting this tour together. Um, but I'm never. I mean, I work in my studio every day, and that's a good thing about having your own space and being able to be creative whenever you feel like it. So, um, but after my tour, I'll be going back into the studio to create more music. But again, it's one of the great things about having my own label because I could just put music out whenever I feel
Mm,
like it, and I think nowadays we can do that. We're not really governed by making loads of albums. I mean, I've made two albums, but I think I'll just keep making some tunes and see where it goes, and maybe make another album. But there's no point sort of keeping all your ideas in the hard drive. I just think
mm,
put them out there, see if people like them, and mix them. And that's the great thing about also with my co-write and co-producer that we can just turn things around really quickly. For instance, on my last album, I had a song called Barbarella, which was like the last song for the album Rip Up the Rule Book. Um, and I really wanted to squeeze on a 12th track onto this album. So this song Barbarella came along, and we wrote it on the Friday, mixed it on the Monday. It was mastered by the Tuesday, and then
mm.
on the album. So I love that. I think that's just magic.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I'd like to talk about the writing side of things as well. So for you, how do the tracks normally start off?
Well, back in the day, when I first came on the scene with the Boo Mania album, just had this record out with the Beatmasters called Hey DJ, I Can't Dance to That, and that was in 1989. And from that, I got a publishing deal. So um, I thought, right, well, I got offered a record deal by their record label, Rhythm King, who had S Express and Bomb the Bass. So they were like the pioneers of it was a really cool label basically, but they said, why don't you write some tunes? So and I locked myself away, worked out how to use the equipment because it was quite difficult in those days. But I was doing a sound engineering course before then, so I knew a little bit about how to work a sampler and full track and all that sort of stuff. So I just started chipping away, and Doing the Do was my first song that I'd ever written, and then Where Are You Baby, and then I wrote the whole album in my room when I was living at home with my mum. So I probably kept her up at night and things with the noise, but it was a great buzz. Um, so that's how I started. So it was usually starting with break beats and then building it around there with some vocal ideas and then maybe a bass line, maybe a piano. Um, but now it's like I start with the break beat always. That's how I start my writing. And because I think because of my background in rap, it's the thing that really sort of the thing that I connect to first. Um, so I can get an idea from that first, and then see where it goes. And normally it ends up, if the idea is really solid, it usually takes me to a really good place.
Mm.
And then I'll take the idea maybe to Andy, my co-writer and co-producer, and then we knock it out and just have a track, which is amazing, really, because you can have start in the afternoon at 2 o'clock when I go to the studio to see him, and then by 7 o'clock in the evening we've got a brand new track, and
Hmm.
that's for me. I mean, I said magic earlier, but it is like magic.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. And you took a big break between the first time you were around in the early 90s and then you came
Mm,
back in 2022 and you're
mm.
still going now. Are you still enjoying it and enjoying that you're back doing it again?
Yeah, very much so. I'd been 20 35 years ago, when I did all this doing the do and everything. I had no idea that 35 years later, I'd be here talking to you and to everybody about a tour or still celebrating my music. And so for me, it's an absolute privilege to still be here to do that. And I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And it's amazing, really. It's just quite astonishing, really, to think. Because normally, pop in the old days, record labels used to think that pop stars had a shelf life, which was, I mean, I think they invented those rules. Nobody else did. Um, and yeah, so I just think it's sort of defying all the whatever they thought was the
Mm.
right thing. But yeah, being here after all those years is just amazing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I've spoken to a fair few artists and bands and things who took long breaks, especially similar to your situation where you were really
Mm.
young at the start. They found that at the start it was more fun and just enjoyment, whereas now it's work. What's your view? How was it for you back then, and how's it for you now?
Oh, well, they're saying it the other way round. Like it's
Yeah,
work now.
yes, yeah. I was very surprised when they said that. So,
Oh, wow.
how's
Oh,
it for
well,
you?
I think it's the other way around for me. So when I came out, it happened so quickly. I made quite a big impact and was doing a lot of things, TV, all the TV shows,
Mm,
Top of the Pops, traveling the world, front covers on magazines, that sort of stuff. I didn't get a chance to enjoy it, to be honest. It was it was a whirlwind without being, it's not, yeah, sounds like a cliche, but it was, Um, and there's a lot of things that I can't remember about it because I did so much. But now I feel like it's so enjoyable to know. I think mainly because I'm connected with the people that used to buy my records, and people like newbies that really enjoy what I do now. So for me, that's the enjoyable bit,
mm,
because back in the day, you wouldn't really necessarily know. I mean, the chart positions would represent how popular you were, but you would never know. You wouldn't be able to have a conversation with anybody about what you're doing. So, say for instance, on my Instagram, I've got all these sort of messages from people saying, "Oh, I love doing the duo. I love where are you, baby? I remember where I was when I first heard it for the first time. Oh, I love your hair. I wanted to look like you." And it's like, oh, that's so cute. I love it. I love hearing these stories. And oh, it reminds me when I met my first boyfriend or girlfriend. And just little things like that. They just mean a lot. And I wouldn't have known anything about it back in the day because nobody gave me any fan mail, even though I had a fan mail uh, department in my record label. They never gave me the letters or anything. So
mm.
it's really nice.
Yeah, I bet. Alison, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
Oh, thank you very much.